Today we are going to learn about VirtualBox, which is a virtualization software that we can use or which can enable us to run more than one operating systems on a single machine. That's basically what it means, that in a single physical computer I can be able to run more than one operating systems at the same time. Most of the time the operating systems or the virtualization software runs on top of the host operating system, and the operating system that runs on the virtualization software, they are called the guest operating system. So in my case, I'm using VirtualBox 7.0 by the time of this recording, and there are also other virtualization softwares that you can find out there which are for free, others you can buy. Microsoft Hyper-V is one of those virtualization softwares that you can use. But in our case, we are going to use Oracle, which is for free. It is very stable and it is so efficient as well. Some of the terminologies that we might experience when we are using virtualization software is a virtual machine. And basically what a virtual machine means is that it is a representation of a physical computer whereby the guest OS will run on top. So that means that when we want to run more than one operating system, we'll have to create more than one virtual machine, because in virtualization just one machine or one virtual machine can be able to run one operating system or guest OS. So virtual machine represents the physical computer, and it will have a hard drive, it will have a RAM, it will have a processor, it also may have a graphics card and even a network card. All this is being borrowed from the physical machine that you have. So that means when you have a PC that has got more RAM, more hard drive and more processing power, it is going to enable you to create a virtual machine with even more resources that can be used to run that particular guest operating system. And also you can just power the virtual machine on or off, just as the way you can power the physical machine, or on or off. So we are going to see all that in this tutorial. And let me close this. So here, this is the VirtualBox Manager user interface, and as you can see on the left panel, we have got options whereby there are preferences, there is import, export. We will learn all what these options mean and what they can do. And here there is a welcoming message, and on the right side here is whereby we have the options for our tools, and also there is where guest operating systems appear when you create them. In this case, I've got an Ubuntu OS, which is a guest operating system. And as I click on this virtual machine, here there are details about this virtual machine that are presented. In this case, we can see the base memory, which is the RAM, is 2 GB. The boot order, we can also see the graphics card or the memory, video memory, which is set to 128, and acceleration 3D. All that we are going to see. We can also see that it has a storage. We can also see that there is an audio which you can be able to specify to receive either an input from microphone and also to output audio through speakers as well. Here also we can see that there is a network card. There are also USB controllers, there are also shared folders. We will basically learn what all these things do. So in our today tutorial, we are going to learn how to create a new virtual machine. So here we will click on the new option, or you can go to file, you can go to machine and say new. So any way, anyone will work, any option will work. So I will go to machine, new, and it will present me with this dialog box. You can also get the same when you just click on the new option there, and it will present me with the same dialog box. Now in this dialog box is where now I specify the details of the virtual machine or of the guest OS, and here I will give my virtual machine a descriptive name. If it is going to be a web server, if it is going to be a file server, if it is going to be a database server, here is actually where I specify that name. It should be descriptive so that you know how it works and what purpose is for that virtual machine. So I will name my virtual machine as test OS. You can name it maybe web server, database server, but because for testing purposes and for tutorial purposes, I will just call it test OS. And this is where the virtual machine data is going to be stored on your computer. And the third option here, we are going to select the ISO image or the image of the operating system. I'll just click there and I click on other, and I specify that this is Ubuntu. You can use any other software that you want or operating system that you want. If it is XP, if it is Windows Me, if it is Fedora Core, Windows Server, VirtualBox will be able to run those operating systems. So it has been able to detect that my operating system is of Linux type, and also the version is Ubuntu, which is 64-bit type. VirtualBox can also enable you to be able to run 32-bit systems. It's very fine. It's very fine. But mine, it has detected that this is a 64-bit operating system that I'm trying to run. And there is also an option here is called skip unattended installation. Sometimes you might want to just upload the operating system files and just want to do your own things as it installs with the default configuration. But now in my case, it says that it cannot be installed unattendedly. The install needs to be started manually. Now I'll have to do everything manually, and I did that intentionally so that you can be able to see how the manual installation works. So I will go to next, and here is where now I will select the memory, which is the RAM. And in this case, I will just advise you stay in the green areas. You stay in the green areas, because once you get into these red areas, your system, the host operating system, might become very slow because it is deprived of resources. So just stay within these green areas, because Ubuntu version 10 is a very lightweight operating system, so 2 GB memory is more than enough. And also I'm using just one CPU core. I will suggest you leave the processor as the default, which is given by the VirtualBox software. So I will click on next, and here it's going to give me an option to be able to create a virtual hard disk. This is going to act as the physical real hard disk, but now it is going to be to reside on top of your hard disk, which is the right hard disk that you are running on the host operating system. So here you're going to give it the size. I will say maybe 10 GB is enough. 10 GB, depending with your the size of your hard disk, you can add even more, or depending on the use of the operating system or on the use of the virtual machine, you can allocate as much size as you want. We have also other options here. They pre-allocate full size. That basically means that we can be able to initially, as we create the virtual disk, the 10 GB will be cut out from the main hard drive and full of it allocated to the virtual hard disk. But if we leave it unchecked, that means that we will claim the memory as we need it. So I will suggest that we use the we leave it unchecked, so that the virtual machine will claim it as it needs the more memory. We have also used existing virtual disk file. If you have any virtual disk file. You can see here ubuntu os.vdi. That's the virtual disk that I created when I created this Ubuntu OS over here. So it has detected it, so we don't want to use that. We want to use a new one. And you can also choose do not add a virtual hard disk. Basically, because we want to add a virtual hard disk, we'll just go with option 1. So we'll click on next. So this will give me a summary that this is the name of machine, where the folder for the machine resides, where the ISO image of the operating system is, and all that stuff, my RAM or the base memory, and the disk size, and do we pre-allocate full size of disk space? We say no, we want it to claim it as we use it. So I will click on finish. So that is how we create our virtual machine. It is as simple as that. So these are the details, and this is our virtual machine, which runs the Ubuntu OS that we specified. And here you can see there are 2 virtual machines, and that means we can be able to run all of them at the same time. Thank you so much. In the next tutorial, we'll learn how to be able to make more configuration on our test OS virtual machine. Thank you.